All right, finish filling up your plates. Let's come find your seats.
It's my job to.
Whew. I just need a minute, ladies and gentlemen.
Attaboy.
Coach, can I rock the beer?
I look back at the footage over the years, and I think I'm supposed to say something like, ladies and gentlemen, we made it back to Granny's again. We sort of made it back last year, and I think I sort of said something like that, but it wasn't totally true, as we all know. So we made it back to the field. It's somewhat surreal to see everybody here. I tried to write some notes so I wouldn't ramble. I know I'm known to do that, which will still happen. I know most of you've heard the story, but I'm a man of tradition, and so you're going to hear it again. You know, this is the 10th anniversary, which is insane. And yeah, 10th how is that even real? 10 years ago, this summer, in Driggs, Idaho, there was a gathering. There was many different names, and basically, I had nothing to do with it. It was the brainchild of Mr. Ben Kibler over here. Yes. Travis Roth, who is not with us, unfortunately. Mr. Jack Zunka here. Landon, who will never show up again, although he did email me a week ago. It's like, I can't make it. I was like, you're kidding me, this close to it, huh? We had J Balls from who was here 2 years ago, and we had Craigslist drummer.
Yep, John.
Correct? Was that the lineup?
And we also had Sean.
Oh, and Tugboat.
And Tugboat.
That's right. So they had a gathering. They were driving out from from Corvallis to Driggs, Idaho, and I get a call from Trav, and he says, hey, we're going to do this music thing. We're going to show up for a week, and we're all going to take it way too serious. We're going to have classes. Everyone's going to have to present a topic. Maybe it's blues scales. Who knows what? You know, maybe it's how you get inspired to write a song. It doesn't matter. We're calling it a master class. See how ahead of the game we were? Now there's all these, online master classes and stuff, right? So Trav calls me and he says, hey man, you really should think about coming to this. He explains it to me and I am just freaking out. I'm like, there's no way. And he basically said, yeah, you're right. You'll get a lot better if you don't come. And the point was that I had never played live music. I read sheet music. I never played in front of people. I never played with other musicians. So I was just wildly intimidated. And I showed up. And the first time we set up, I got Jack right here, looking about as cool cat as he does right now. And I was pretty intimidated, I'm not gonna lie. And
look at it.
And like within the first 60 seconds, some of the tenets started to come out, which is, this is a judgment-free zone. You're safe here to make mistakes and to be vulnerable, and you're going to be nervous. There's no doubt about it. But you're allowed to screw up here. Yeah. Because musicians can be a judgy bunch if you know like true pro musicians, right? Like any pros. And so it was an altering experience for me because they were so accepting. And by the end of that, I didn't have to say anymore. I'd never played live music. I'd never played with anybody. And that was a huge deal for me. And so I came away from that experience and my mind started racing, which it tends to, as you all know. And I said, you know what, if we thought about doing that next year, maybe we could do it at Granny's. Like, I'll host up there, we'll go up to Granny's, we'll do the same thing. So we did that. And I said, you know what would be really interesting? We do all that work all week. What if we tried to put on a show at the end of the week? And they were like, I don't know. What about, I didn't let it go. And I said, no, let's play a show. And so we were in the garage, and that one was Sully and Cass and Trav and OC Senior. And we played a show to nobody. I think Sprague was here with the dogs. And we set up, and you were here. My wife was likely here. And we literally played a set. We sat down, we played songs without stopping, and we played a set. And so we said, well, that was cool. We sort of pulled it off. And then, as you've been around, went from there, right? It was like, well, let's have it out here, and what about a stereo? And well, it's kind of dark, we should get some lights, so we should take the old antenna from Granny's and turn it into a light rig. And so it's just, it's fun to iterate on stuff, and now here we are 9 years later, right? And I didn't get a chance. I thought I was got a little overconfident yesterday. I was like, we're pretty much ready for the show. And then if anybody saw me in the last hour, I was pretty much at max tweak. So I've calmed down. I took an ice cold shower and put on a really hot suit, both hot and hot. But I didn't get a chance to write notes, which I think is perfect, because when I tried to write something 6 minutes ago, what I wrote down was last night was the summit, right? Because I heard a couple different things. I've never played live before. Yep. Check that box off. How about the Nelson family? Well, crushing it, right? I heard the new generation playing some music, right? I heard not only music, but arts. I heard an amazing reading. We heard some stand-up comedy, which we're going to hear some more of. And so I don't even need to write notes. The summit lives in those tenets. We've made a space where people felt safe to play for the first time, to be vulnerable, to make mistakes. We had Damien up on stage, breaks his gear up, comes up and plays, and then afterwards is like, I've never played with anybody before. So that's what the summit is about. It is about catalyzing that creativity that I was shared, that people shared with me 10 years ago. That's what it's about. Yes, we like to take it over the top, and I've got a tuxedo on because I'm crazy. And it's not about all that. We could take it all the way back to the original garage in Driggs, Idaho, and that's what it's about, right? So I thought last night was a perfect example of that.
Yes.
The other thing it's about is about fostering an environment of family and love and kindness. This world is insane, and it's so brutal. And all we can do is control the things that we can control and impact the communities that we live in. And, if you have a bigger reach than that, good for you. I tried to have a reach and do national things or whatever, and fine, but the impacts are local. Right? And so we just need to be kind to each other, try to understand each other a little more, try to take the temperature down in general. That's what the summit is about. Just escaping the madness for just a little while. I gotta hit some thank yous, so bear with me here. I've kind of already touched, but I just want to give a huge shout out to the original summit crew. None of this would be possible without them. I cannot overstate how much my full pull crew crushed it this week.
Yeah, full pull.
That's Dan and Drew and Craig and Sprague even came up for a day last week. These guys literally killed themselves. I like it when they haven't done a full pull before, Dan's first one. And you kind of yeah, cool, I'm going to go up the whole week, and that'll be great. And then you're in the middle of it, you're like, whoa, this sucks. What did I sign myself up for? But it's just, all of this is because of them. I mean, it's just unbelievable how hard those guys worked. I think Drew made 6 trips to the Front Range over the last 4 days. So I want to give a huge thank you to Ruth, a.k.a. Granny, and Frank Howard. This is most certainly not possible without them. They bought a piece of random land back in the 70s, and everyone told them they were crazy because they had some field out in the middle of nowhere. And oh boy, did they know what they were doing. So here's to Granny and Frank. I want to give a huge shout out to my mom. I don't know if she has made it down yet. That is the strongest.
Lady, you got it.
You got this, OC.
That is the strongest woman I know.
Yes.
She has had a tough year, to say the least. And she toughed it out, and she's annoyed by the summit in general anyway. Least of which when you're having health issues. But she has been a good sport and done the best she can, and it's inspiring stuff because it's just, she's been having a tough go, and she's still she's still being Emily Nelson, and that's inspiring stuff. So keep giving her love throughout the weekend. I just can't thank her enough for toughing it out. Got to give a huge shout out to OC Senior.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no summit without Senior. OC Senior. A force of epic magnitude, whether that's behind the 2-burner stoves, behind the keys at 2 o'clock in the morning, or everywhere in between. I think somebody came up to me and said, I'd never met your dad. I said hello, and within 4 minutes we were having like the deepest conversation I've ever had in my life. I was like, there's not a lot of warm up with OC Senior. There's not a like, what do you do and how do you, where are you from? It's just like, have you contemplated the meaning of the universe? So I hope you've all gotten a taste of that, but I just couldn't be more excited for Senior's set tomorrow. I love you. We did it, Senior. We made it back. I got to give a shout out to my in-laws who are not here. They'll be here tomorrow, but per usual, my mother-in-law is just the biggest supporter of this. And like, I'm not even covering the details off, and she's texting me like, do you have the food figured out? What about the utensils? And like, not only did she shop for all the food and stuff today, and then sent it with Kruger because she wasn't even coming till tomorrow. It's like, come on. So you guys, we can love on Beth and Steeg tomorrow, but my in-laws have just been so supportive, which is like, I think for so long they were like, I don't really understand what you're doing, which is still probably the question, but I think more and more they can see the love and the energy that everyone's bringing, and they enjoy being a part of it. I want to thank Nancy. She's already taken off, unfortunately, but I still want to give her a huge shout out. My mom's friend stepped up and was here all week to support my mom and help her while my dad was entertaining us and doing all the madness. So we'll give Nancy a shout out from afar. She killed it. Shout out to Wally on the grill. He just got here. I'm like, I barely got to say hi. Let's get on the grill. It's dinner time. Stepped into it like always. And then the biggest shout out goes to all of you, because I've had so many people say so many beautiful things to me over the last few days, and I'm not great at taking compliments, but I've learned through some stuff that I've done that you just say thank you, and that's all you can do. So thank you for all the beautiful words you've shared with me, and I appreciate it genuinely, but I'm sure what I said back to you was something like, this, you fuel this. I happen to build a tent or to set up, move some cables around, and that's fine. It takes work. But you know me. There's nothing I'd rather do than OCD out on something. But the reality is that it's your energy and your love and coming and spending your time with us and your busy summer with your families. And everybody's got something beautiful to contribute. And that's why it's amazing. I mean, Jack said it last night. You can get tickets to a festival. That's fine. Festivals are amazing. I love festivals. When we're doing it ourselves, because it's our own event and it's our family gathering, that's why it's different, and that's why it's, huge shout out to all of you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming. It's just beautiful. Okay, few administrative items. First plea for Sunday. We've still got 2 days we got all to tonight and all tomorrow. We don't have to worry about teardown yet, but Sunday will come. And I know some of you got to get out, and that you don't have to feel bad for 1 second. But if you can stick around, and you've been through it before, there's a lot of work to take this. It takes 1 week to build it, and we got to take it down in 15 hours. So stick around if you can, and I'll talk more about that tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to have same exact setup. Food, do hiking. Water hole sounds like it was epic today. It was the water hole crew. Sounded like it was amazing. Do your stuff, same thing. Get started early so you can get back early, because we're going to do the same thing. We're going to eat early, we're going to start early, so we can not have it go too late, because as you well know, Below the Rose taking us home tomorrow night. So we want to make sure we got some energy left in the tank for our closers. Senior, were you pointing your finger at me for a note? No, okay. I'm sure there'll be other admin I think of as I get more For the Farmer Bush Lights in me, but... Oh, correct. Thank you, babe. Ben's doing an amazing job. I know it's annoying. Tim did an amazing job helping us get set up with insurance this year. Whether or not we think that's the right move, it's like he's been such a huge help and getting that set up. Better safe than sorry, right? I mean, it's a piece of paper. It's not like, you know, we're all fine. It's just the silly checks I got to do for the insurance company. So if you see that clipboard coming around, scribble your name on it, and oh, it's happening right now. Amazing. We do have a merch tent. Ben's going to be manning that tomorrow. We've got posters. We got new posters. We got some of Aaron Kruger's beautiful mountain shots with the peaks labeled. We got hats. We got t-shirts. We got it all. All the proceeds go to Granny's Super Fund. So that's right. We're after this set. Mojo's going to come up to us and talk a little bit about the incredible work he's doing to continue Hans's legacy up in Clear Creek. And we'll let him talk about that more after Dan plays.